Pull-ups are one of the best exercise out there, both in terms of building muscle as well as having great application to various calisthenics skills. So it can be pretty annoying when trying to do them to end up swinging between reps, which aside from looking silly, wastes energy and is a detractor of many of the gains that pull-ups bring. So today, that's what we'll be looking to fix: how to stop yourself swinging during pull-ups. Let's get into it. How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Okay, so right out the back, when it comes to stopping yourself swinging during pull-ups, I'm going to assume you're doing all of the basic things right. By that, I mean we're using a pronated grip where our thumbs go around the bar. This will give us the best purchase on the bar itself. I'm also assuming that we're creating head-to-toe tension, so legs together, core engaged, no loose limbs swinging about. Thirdly and finally, I'm going to assume that we're doing full reps where the elbows lock out and we disengage the scapula at the bottom of every rep. Many people do half reps or cheat reps as a way of avoiding swinging, but the only thing you're cheating there is yourself out of your gains. So if you're not doing these three things and doing them correctly, these should be your first port of call. But if you are and you still find yourself swinging around on the bar, then here are some things that you can do to tackle it. Firstly, ask yourself if pull-ups are too difficult for you. Or, and to be a little bit more precise, if the pull-up variation that you're doing at this moment in time is a little bit too difficult for you. Many, including myself, advocate for fast concentrics and slow eccentrics. This optimizes for hypertrophy, but this becomes harder if we're already struggling to do the movement in the first place. More to the point is that an explosive concentric and a slow eccentric is only a hop, skip and a jump away from just doing bouncing reps, which will naturally lead to swinging as we only just get the chin over the bar for a split second before dropping like a stone during the negative. This is very difficult to do. The reps need to be controlled, but this is hard. So if you struggle to do this, regress this movement with bands. This allows you to achieve the sort of quality reps that will lead to overall gains over the long term. And it doesn't need to be a complete regression either. If you find that you can only do 5 out of the 10 reps in your set before you start swinging, stop at 5 and add bands for the last 5, like a drop set. Do this and watch the quality and control you have over your pull-ups just drastically increase. We also need to improve our shoulder flexion mobility. We are weak in ranges that we struggle to access, and just far too many of us struggle to get our hands straight up over our head, which presents a problem when it comes to the pull-up, a largely overhead pulling movement. If we can't get our hands above our heads under our own strength, this range doesn't magically appear when we're under the bar. And what typically happens to those who demonstrate shoulder flexion tightness is that this range is found lower down the chain in this anterior tilt in the hips. I mentioned this in my video covering not being able to feel your abs in hanging leg raises, and the same symptoms manifest here. All of this combined with a weakness in this shoulder flexion range will make it harder to stabilize the bottom of the pull-up and lead to swinging at the bottom of each rep. Obviously, to fix this, we need to increase our shoulder flexion mobility. And a favorite of mine is a butcher's block full tutorial by clicking on the card, but this is a must for resolving strength, mobility and postural issues. But once we get access to this position, we then need to get strong in this position, and that's where the scapular pull-up can help. The stronger our base is, the better our overall pull-up will be. And the initial part of the pull-up, where we move from a dead hang to an active hang, is often the culprit behind the swinging. So using the scapular pull-up to create strength here is a fantastic way to avoid this. It's a lot of information that we've just gone through, so here is how we can take a typical pulling session and tweak it a little bit around the margins and stop yourself from swinging during pull-ups. In this example of a pull workout, we can add a dynamic version of the butcher's block to our warm-up, just something to help mobilize the shoulders for the session we're about to do. Then, in terms of the pull-up itself, we can swap them out for banded pull-ups, whether that be a full set of banded pull-ups or something like the drop set we mentioned earlier. Again, the main aim here is to use the bands only when we start to notice that swinging to achieve the sort of quality pull-ups that we wouldn't be able to do without the bands. We're also going to add some scapular pull-ups to spend a little bit more time under tension in that bottom part of the movement, building up that base. And then, as a warm down, we add a static version of the butcher's block to supplement your mobility work so that you come back more flexible next time. Crowd, use this to prevent swinging during your pull-ups, but if you want to see how I trebled my pull-up reps, then check out this video right here.